How old are you? I mean, how old are you? Are you this age, 50 years old, 20 years old, or maybe 70 years old? Probably, whatever your age is, you're not feeling that way. You see, throughout history, a lot of people, a lot of emperors or kings have spent fortunes and a lot of money in searching for immortality. Now, why are people spending so much money searching for immortality? You might probably think because they want power, because they are kings and they want more power. But that is not the case. In the modern world, we see average people spending a bunch of money to keep looking young and fresh. But are they king? Are they wanting any sort of power? So the theory that people looking for power in order to want to stay young forever, it is not true and it's completely biased. Now, in this video, we will dive into something that you never probably thought about, that is the core principle that shapes every kind of human action in the sense that we're looking for being young forever, and that is something that we will dive into this video. And if you stick to the end of this video, you will learn that and you will understand not only the reason behind why people spend so much money to keep looking young, but also how to navigate the complexity of the human relationships. Hi, my name is Chris Kobe, and in this video I want to teach you something that is called the tree personality. Now, this is not a personality disorder. It is not like something that is a medical issue, a medical condition, but it is a psychological and a natural condition of the human being. You see, as human being, we have different type of personality within us. Now, in this video, I'm gonna share that with you, and I hope I will help to clarify it with you properly so that you understand it and can use it properly with your kids, with your partner, with your friend, and with your business partner as well. We will dive into understanding what are the three different type of personalities in one single person. Here is the thing. Everybody has those three type of personality. Don't get me wrong. The reason why I got to this point first is because a year ago I was really bored and I was looking for people. I was trying just to get out and talk to strangers. And in my course of first trying to learn to overcome my fear of public speaking and also my fear of rejection, I wanted to talk to strangers, mostly girls. I was going out and hanging out with people that I don't know from anywhere, and I started talking with them in order to learn how to overcome my fear of speaking to stranger and also my fear of rejection. Something happened here. In my course of speaking to people, I noticed something that was common to everybody. That is, each person had three different type of personality within them. You might be already be like, what is this? It is really simple. If you observe every person, you might notice it. And if I explain this to you and you use your mind, you will also start understanding it within yourself and also observe it other to see it within them. Now, how did these three personality manifested and how did I solve them? First, I will start enumerating those three type of personality, which we have the child, the child. Well, the child is what? The child is just the child, which is the innocent and naive. The child is when you are born. The first time you are born, you have the personality. That is your core personality. That is the personality you are born with, and that is the innocent, and that is the naive. It is just a child. We have no much thing to talk about that yet, but let's keep going. After we have the child, we have the adult. The adult. The adult is the composition of all the education that you had from your parent and from your home education or your closest education, even at school and all that. That is the education that you have. The adult is just what people or your parents expect you to be like. You are Suddenly it is just a combination of your parent and your close environment. That is the adult. The adult is what your society, I mean your close society expects you to be like. If you are from a certain part of the world, certainly you have a view of the world, how the world should be, and you acting as expecting to be exactly what that place expects you to be like. For instance, if you are from a country that speak a specific language, you definitely also speak in that language. That is the adult, that is the education that you've been born with. If you are from a home and people eating a certain kind of food in the house, you also definitely going to eat that food. But do you have a preference for any other type of food? Of course, a food that might not be eaten in your home country or in your country. And that is where we have the third type of personality, which is the image. Here is where things get interesting. So we have the child, we have the adult, we have the image. Now, how can you understand these three type of personality and how can you properly identify with them? First, understanding the image is just what you want out of what is not the child and what is not the adult. The image is just something outside of your world. For instance, I'm not from an English speaking. I'm not from an English speaking country, but I do speak English. But how did I come to speak English? Because that is my image. There is something that I wanted to be like. It is not from my. It's not from my parents. It's not from my home country. It is not. It's nothing from what is I can call mine. It's something that I desire to be like. So the adult is just everything that you desire outside of your parent education or your school education, everything that you been fed with from the moment that you're born to a certain age, everything that you were expecting to be, the image is just the opposite of that. The image is just the alternative for the child and the adult. Now, why is this important? Well, you want to understand this because they play a very key role into how you approach life and how you live life. Because you see, when you want to do something, when you have a motivation, or when you are going to do something, or even in relationships, how you handle things come down to different type of these personalities. If you are in a relationship, your relationships might be determined, for instance, by the image or the adult. Your adult has a set of rule and principle for which it chooses your partner or the business that you do. If you are living your life according to your image also sets that things that you want in your life. Now, let's dive a bit into the details about these three type of personality and how they combine within themselves and also how they create some type of conflict in your life. I mean, in everybody's life. The image is just the model, the thing that we want to be like. The image is just something that people create into your mind, something that you desire, something that you aspire to be like. You want to speak like that guy, you want to speak like that lady, you want to just be like rich like that person. It's something that is out of your world, it's something that is not common to you. It's something that you are not expected to be. That is the image, and everybody does have an image. You have an image of the kind of person you want to be. You have an image of whatever you want to be, and that comes in conflict sometimes, not all the time, with the adult. And most of the time, it does come into conflict with the adult because the adult is first what you are expected to be. It is what your education is expecting you to be, which is not bad. I'm not assuming that it is bad, but it is to explain how this play into themselves. So the adult is first what you are expected to be from your basic education, and then your image is what you start desiring outside of yourself, outside of your education, outside of your principal foundation of understanding of the world. And that image can become so strong that it enters into conflict with the adults. They cannot coexist together. Like they cannot live together. The image and the adult cannot live together. And most people live in that state. They are in consistent conflict within the image and the adult, because the adult is an expectation and the image also is other expectation. Therefore, they cannot live together. But here's the wonderful thing that I noticed when I was talking to a bunch of people. Everybody still think of themselves as a child. That is why I said why people spend so much money in trying to be always young. You see, if there was no a mirror, or there was no any word like adult and all that, if we cannot see our physical appearance in a mirror, could you ever be able to think of yourself as aging, or could you ever be able to think of yourself as dying physically? You probably won't. You can feel it, but you won't, because every time everybody is feeling inside as a child. Just ask any aging person or someone that is aged, someone that is old, ask them if they feel the age. They will probably say no, because they don't know how fast the time has passed, because they always feel inside themselves as they're still that child that they were. If we were normally, if we already accepted that we are adults, then why would we be afraid of being of aging? It is probably because we don't accept that we become adults, and nobody really accept that they become adult. We always see ourselves as the child, and the only place that people always feel as the child is when they are alone, or when they are with the people that they trust the most. Therefore, here, when you see people navigating the society, or you see people navigating through the streets, they are always using different kind of personalities. So when you want to approach people, it's really useful and helpful to observe first, and to try to put yourself into the shoe and understand first, if you were to talk to that person, how could you approach it, how could you approach him or her if he was just a child? And that is a very key principle that I use to try to build a relationship with strangers, because every child wants to play with another child. Some child though don't want to play with other child, but most of the child do want to play with other child. So when you understand how that child might want to play, like, you can earn their trust, and you can do business with them, you can cooperate with them, you can build relationship with them. And that is the core principle that I use first personally to try to build relationship with others, because first understanding the child, because you know what, the only modification in our own lifestyle happens only in the adult and the image. Your image keep changing. Whatever you want, the kind of car that you want is always changing. The kind of clothes you wear always changing. But what doesn't change is the child. The child never change. The image keep changing, the adult keep changing, therefore they are not consistent. You cannot build a relationship with the adult of someone, or you cannot build a relationship with the image of someone. For instance, the person I am today will not definitely be the person that I will be tomorrow. The kind of clothes I wear today will not be the kind of clothes I wear tomorrow. The image I have of myself today is not the image I will have of myself tomorrow. And the adult that I am today is not the adult that I will be tomorrow. Those things are constantly changing, they are variable. But what doesn't change is the child in me. The child never changes. I always see myself as a child. And for instance, if you ask any criminal, or even the worst of criminal, they always feel inside of themselves the child in them. So you can even build a relationship with the world dangerous person just by understanding that little child in them. And that is the thing, because everybody has that child in them. But what makes someone into a wrong path, or another way, it is the image that they have. It is the image. For instance, if you ask the gang member, for example, for a clown, they're born as a child, they have the child in them. Maybe the education of the parent is not to be, a bad person, or a criminal, for instance. But the image that they start to build as they grow up might be admiring those kind of things, and therefore they become a criminal, for instance. Then what happens here? The image is in conflict with the adult, but the image is always going with the child because they always see themselves as a child. So therefore the image is always going with the child. The image is always going with the child, but the adult is not present anymore, where the image is in conflict with the adult and is in peace with the child. But the adult can be in peace with the child, and also these two being in conflict with the image. In in all, it's always, most of the time, going into pairs. Every time people are always being the child in them, you can play with the child with them, and they can be using the image acting in a moment, or they can be the adult in a moment, but they always have the child in them on also all these three personality. But what is consistent with them is the child. And when you understand that, you build a relationship with them, with the child in them. And you know what? Everybody try to hide the child because that child is innocent, it is vulnerable, it is ignorant, it is naive. And that's why we try to build the image to protect the child. We also build the adult to protect the child because the child is vulnerable, it is naive, it is innocent, doesn't know anything. But these two are created to protect the child. When you understand that, you build a relationship with the child because the child never changes. What changes is the image and the adult, because as you grow more, the more image that you form. As you grow, the more older you become as well, being an adult. So understanding this is crucial. First, understanding why we are spending so much thought on first to try to maintain our physical appearance, to keep being to ourselves as the child we feel inside ourselves. We want to keep feeling that physically and also internally, but also we want to be able to live as long as we can to enjoy the child in ourselves. So by understanding that this thing, it helps you first to navigate relationship with others and also business relationships, and also help you to understand yourself in when you are trying to take a decision and when you are trying to make a critical decision. Because sometimes you want to make a decision that is based on your adult, and that decision is in conflict with your image, and there is a conflict in you that you don't understand, and that you start feeling like, oh no, I'm feeling like I don't know what to do. You know what to do, but it's like choosing who you want to act like, and that those people are inside of you. So by choosing correctly, knowing, okay, this is in alignment with the adult or the image, it is okay, it is fine, you just choose. But most of the time, you are always with the child. Everybody is always with the child, and understanding that will save you a lot of trouble, because you can build relationship with people with the child, and the adult and the image may change, but they still have the child in them. So that's it about the three personalities, and let me know what you think, and let me know if this resonates with you. Let me know if you ever feel this way, if you ever feel that you have the child in you, that you have the adult in you, that you have the image in you, and if you know how they manifest in themselves. If you can feel as a child, if you are alone, naked, perhaps in your in your bed or in your bathroom, or if you feel the image when you are trying to be competitive at the business, or if you are trying to be competitive at something, if you feel the image, or if you feel certain kind of way as the adult when you're acting in certain kind of way. Let me know in the comment section what you think and how those manifest with you, and I hope you learn something from here, and I hope you enjoy this video. Sorry if I was speaking so fast. I will try to learn how to speak slower, and also I'm trying to provide the burst of the information I can to you. And also, I'm sorry if I spoke so fast. And I hope my English was at least the best it could be, to help you understand this information as the best I could translate them to you. So I hope you had an amazing sense of what I was trying to convey to you. And yeah, just enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you.